What's up, you guys? So I'm just gonna try this a second time. I actually tried this a second ago and it ended up not recording, so I'm already a little out of breath. And that's gonna go to show you how good this thing is because I just did it. That was only about 6 minutes. I just did it a second ago and I'm out of breath. But just to preface this next round of exercises and kind of demonstrations in this thing again, is I highly recommend. A lot of these things are going to be a little more advanced, not advanced, but I highly recommend. And even as I'll train, trainers, which I still do, and also when I see clients, you almost can tell when someone's been taught. I'm not saying a wrong way, but they've been taught through, um, a lot of at-home programs. Leave it at that. Their posture is usually horrible. Their form is okay, but as long as when you start developing those bad habits, it starts to pay off. I mean, it starts to show, not pay off. But so I highly recommend you see a professional, a good personal trainer. A good, decent, qualified personal trainer. Teach some of these fundamental movements because there's only a few handful of things that are really important. And if you don't learn early on, you get those bad habits. So without going too much into it, I'll just leave it at that because some of these things people will, all over YouTube, they'll try cool, unique exercises, but and I see it in the gym all the time. It's horrible. And I see trainers are probably the worst culprit of that. They'll try something really cool. I mean, they can do, and you just look at them. They can't even do a push-up or a normal squat properly. They're trying something crazy. So, Total Gym's more forgiving on making sure you have good posture, but it's still important. I would still recommend seeing somebody, ask a friend, at least have a mirror and watch yourself move a little bit. Okay. So, I won't stress it too much, but I'm just going to tilt this down a little bit more so I can show you some angle of the Total Gym here. So, yeah, you can see everything. So this next one, what I did was I added the rope attachment, and any rope attachment, put it to the carabiner clips, and I'll just show you a few things. Now, already off the bat, obviously, you can do the same thing you just did. A row in this angle. I can put the strap all the way out. I can do a different type of crossover from here, reaching, crossing through. I could do this kind of like a backpack lift. I lift up, turn, rotate. Okay, not the best. Again, a little cumbersome, but it doesn't feel bad. Obviously, you can do something like tricep extensions. And from here too, I mean, what's good about this Total Gym, or whatever this thing's called, Total Body Works, you can do this for more reps than you're used to, kind of more of like an aerobic kind of exercise. You can certainly go to single arm, grabbing the rope, working on grip. And you can use anything. It doesn't have to be, you don't pay for an attachment, a rope attachment. You can use a belt, good quality rope. Whatever attachments you already have, go to the store and get a simple attachment. Some other things. This gets a little more, a little more advanced. And use this at your own risk. I'm just kind of just showing you some little things you can do to get creative, a little fun. But definitely not something that I would encourage a lot of people to do. Keep a cell phone nearby in the basement in case an accident happens. You can go neutral grip here. Good posture. Doing a nice low row. Again, I could do one hand, reach, and row. Sometimes this split stance is a little more, feels safer, a little more secure. You can certainly go in a side stance. Reaching, like you're gonna reach row this way. Again, it's kind of fun. You could even do, I got this rope. I'm thinking off the cuff here, hammer curls. Okay. And something else too. I mean, the only criticism I have of this thing is I don't really necessarily staying on this when I'm working out because I don't like sitting down the whole time. God knows we have enough sitting exercises, and we sit down most of the day anyway, so you don't get a chance to move your legs as much. So this is one you actually could do. Again, highly be careful with it, but make sure this stays stable when you get on. I can go squat, row. Okay, squat, a little twist. And that feels great too. Again, you can get pretty creative with it. Another thing, I'm just going to show you, I literally just thought of this next one. I'm going to have 2 power blocks, 90 pounds each. I'm using a lot of weight to show you this thing can withstand a lot of weight, but within reason. Again, so that's why I'm showing a lot versus a little bit. But what goes to saying is that you can also use this as a bench. So if you don't have a bench at home, this can work as a nice incline bench. For the most part, you don't necessarily need a decline, but this one can be your decline. You can put it all the way down flat and certainly use it as a decline or a flat bench, and you can raise it a little higher, depending on how heavy the weight is. This next weight, you'll see, it's not going to be, it's definitely not the most flexible, but I'm going to show you what heavy weight can do to this thing a little bit. Okay, so I got this in each hand. Kind of forward into it. Let's scoot a little bit more up. Okay, got it up. I'm going to lower it. Press as I go out. Or just simply use it as an incline, sorry. You can go one leg, so I'm tired, I already did that already, but this is, again, the weight that this is the same in this thing. You can hold it, but this is where you kind of can see where if I'm 200 pounds, I'm lifting 180, the added weight on here, I can kind of feel that it's taking some of that pressure. Whether or not I take it long term, I don't know, but that's sort of something to consider, that if you are someone who's heavier, that can play a part. So I think if you're someone who's over 300 and has some extra money, that's what the regular Total Gym might shine, because I'm sure that the construction is much more durable. They can take a beating, but for the most part, in the first video I failed to mention this, there's a tiny bit of wear here, and if anything, if I were to see something go, it would be just this fabric and maybe this board, but that'd be easy to fix if you wanted to. The regular construction, I can't see that falling apart. But again, if you're someone who is a little heavier and wants a little more durability and also stability, I mean, this thing, again, you can see it's not, you could easily kind of roll off this thing. I'm sure this thing looks thinner than the actual Total Gym itself. So, you're paying for the durability of the construction, I think, of getting into Total Gym. This next one is going to kind of get the heart rate up a little bit. You can kind of plyometric push-up. You definitely don't need the BOSU for this one, but if you have another thing like this laying around the house, the BOSU, for some use. And again, you already have some ideas, I'm sure, kind of floating around the house. You could use this thing on this Total Bodyworks, whatever. I never wrote this name. So we start out a little further out. Fall into it. Press. Soft absorption. Throwing some other patterns here. Out. Sorry. So, gets your heart rate up pretty fast. Again, some little examples. I won't do this thing totally to death, but hopefully this kind of gets you guys thinking creatively that any attachment can make a big difference in what you're doing. If you see an exercise, just kind of think, if you see it in a magazine or somewhere, how can I incorporate that onto here? I'm sure you can be creative and find a way. This thing certainly has limitations. Like one is just the length of the cord, but if you found, one of these, or if you got a regular attachment, like a hand attachment, and one more of an extender strip where you attach some little fabric to it, you can extend this a little more, so you can get that more, that more better range of motion. But for the most part, I think that's it. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I think I'll review something else next time that's laying around here, but any other questions, let me know. Thanks. What's up, you guys? So I'm just going to try this a second time. I actually tried this a second ago and ended up not recording, so I'm already a little out of breath. And that's going to go to show you how good this thing is, because I just did it. That was only about 6 minutes. I just did it a second ago, and I'm out of breath. But just to preface this next round of exercises and kind of demonstrations in this thing again, is I highly recommend. A lot of these things are going to be a little more advanced. Not advanced, but I highly recommend. And even as I'll train, trainers which I still do, and also when I see clients, you almost can tell when someone's been taught. I'm not saying a wrong way, but they've been taught through, um, a lot of at-home programs. Leave it at that. Their posture is usually horrible. Their form is okay, but as long as when you start developing those bad habits, it starts to pay off. I mean, it starts to show, not pay off. But so I highly recommend you see a professional, a good personal trainer, a good, decent, qualified personal